TGI Fridays, Abriza Mile, Domingo. Background music, very nice. I never understand the glitter ball. Don't understand that at all. There's no light on it, just keeps spinning. I'm going to vlog, yeah. You want to be on the vlog? There you go.
Good friend of mine here. Welcome to TGI Fridays.
That's a shout out. TGI Fridays, there we go. So, what do I talk about today? Well, today it's about, are you the foreigner in the corner? Yeah. Are you the foreigner in the corner? And what you have to understand is that you or me will always be a foreigner, and it becomes very difficult to integrate and to be part of the Philippine people. Yeah, you can have a sour, you can be married, you can have a girlfriend, but the family are cordial and courteous towards you. But do they embrace you? Do they take you in? Now, lots of people here will turn around and disagree with me and turn around and say, yeah. Well, I've been here for 9 years, and I meet Annie's family, and I meet other Filipino families, and I meet other Filipinos, and they are very, very social. They're very, very interactive. They're very hospitable. But do they share things with you? Do they engage with you? Do they? For me, no. And so I have some Filipino friends and I have some foreign friends, and twice a week I meet with the foreign friends so that I don't sit in my apartment with Annie going to school going crazy, because you always need to have a hobby here. You always need to have something that's going to stimulate the brain. Now, that could be, and I've done hobbies before, that could be you do cooking, or you turn around and go out and have a cup of coffee, or you need to meet people, you need to. Yeah, it's not the same as where I come from in the UK. Now, I was watching a vlog the other day and there was a guy living out in the boondocks, living out in the provinces, and he loves it out there. But, you know, the people that live in the provinces, they'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 children. They're big families, because the mothers and fathers see that their children are going to be their pension. Whereas if you already have your pension, then people see you as being an ATM, all that money. Yeah? But you have to engage, you have to turn around and push really, really hard here to become socially accepted in the Philippine culture and the Philippine life. And for that, there are a few things that I think that makes that happen. Language is one. You have to turn around and engage and convert in Visaya, Visayas, or Visaya, Telugu, or Visaya. You need to engage in that. You need to get part of that. But it's very, very difficult. It's very difficult for me. A lot of people that watch my channel turn around and say to me, "You need to learn the language." I totally agree. But when Annie is trying to learn English for her school, then we revert to English. I turn around and I go to friends' houses here. I go to Peter down at Fatima, and I go across Southern Switzerland, and I go out towards Mintal and Surreal. But the cultural base for me, as a senior and as a retiree, is quite difficult because you engage, you try, you learn a bit, but the cultural basis is you're still a foreigner in the corner. It's a lot easier for people to understand that cultural, Filipino to Filipino, you understand the cultural. I get asked in taxis all the time about my tribe. What? My tribe. So taxi drivers that are coming here to Davao to earn money still have this tribal influence. So you know those people come from the provinces. They live in the provinces. They have a family life in the province. They've got everything there, and what they do is use it as Davao as a destination to work, to get money, to turn around and send home. And they'll do taxi driver, 2 days on, 2 days off, 2 days on, 3 days on, 3 days off, 3 days, 4 days, whatever, and then they'll go home at certain times of the year, like Easter. They'll go home for Easter, and they'll spend 4 or 5 days at Easter, and they'll take gifts, and they'll take. But as a foreigner, we don't see it like that. Well, I don't. I turn around and look at it and think to myself, I post my vlogs so my family can see that I'm okay. And here in the Philippines, they have overseas workers, they like to communicate with each other, and they like to talk to each other. But if you look at this restaurant today, most of the Filipino families are all sitting down having their lunch, and they're all socialising with each other. Very rare you will see a foreigner at that table, whether it's American, British, German, French, whatever. Very rare. Unless the foreigner is going to pay the bill. And then he'll be at the table. Bad. So what you have to turn around and do, you have to understand that when you're coming to the Philippines, it can be a very lonely life unless you've got hobbies, unless you meet people. And what I turned around and did with my vlog was I turned around and said, I'm going to be at French bakery at 1 o'clock on a Wednesday, Tuesday. And on a Sunday, I'm going to be at TGI Friday at 1 o'clock. Same time, different places, one's at Abriza, one's at SM. Because the cultural base is different. And it's when you come here on holiday, it's all smiley, and you've got money, you've got cash. When you move here and you live here, the people you are in smiley with, they all have a life. They all have something to do each day. They might have to go out to work, they might have their family, they might turn around and have online work, they might turn around and maybe meeting friends. They might be going away on a Friday night. It's a massive part of life here. Is on a Friday night and Saturday everybody gets away, and then on Sunday morning everybody checks out of wherever they are, whatever resort they are, if they're staying in a resort or they're camping on the beach. And that social network is very good. I've been away with Annie on a tent, and I've camped on the beach and stuff like that. But again, socially, I'm still a foreigner. You still become this person that's on the sidelines. You're not integrated into that conversation. You're not integrated into that communal life, because there's lots of different quirks that go on like when you're back in your country, you'll say something and it will have a meaning. Here, they say something, it has a meaning, it has a different meaning. They have how can I say? They have a familiarity that is an understanding of their cultural belief and how they work, how they live, how the Filipino people communicate. And it doesn't matter what island you're on, where you are in the Philippines, it's still an integration and it's still an understanding of that cultural belief of what I understand to what the other person understands. Now, sometimes foreigners, and you'll go out, and there is a saying in France, you can always tell in America, because they're the ones that are very loud and very obnoxious in the area. So here in the Philippines, all foreigners are similar. We all have a very commanding, authoritarian vocabulary. We all are quite loud in how we talk and how we speak. And Annie turns around and tells me off that I need to keep my voice down. Keep quiet. Don't raise any eyebrows. Don't make it big. And it's things like that you need to understand. I've been to birthday parties where 3 or 4 foreigners in there, 3 or 4 foreigners will be sat over there, and all the Filipinos will be in the bedroom, or the Filipinos will be in the bedroom doing the chica. The women will be watching TV, lying on the bed, having a giggle. The boys will be sitting there talking about changing the world. That's a crockery thing. Changing the world, having a few beers, having a laugh. But they're having that conversation. So you end up with like these 3 pockets. And if you're lucky to have a Filipino that understands you as your wife or your partner, she'll explain these things to you, and she'll explain how this life revolves and how it does become difficult when you're going out. And when I get invited out and I'm going out, there's all these foreigners and then there's all of these Filipinos. The foreigners are all sitting there. Some get up and dance, some get up and make fools of themselves. Others will just sit there. But the Filipinos will all be getting up there and they'll all be dancing, unless they're from the province. And when they're from the province, they think that everybody's looking at them, which is the same as back in the UK or back in other countries. But it's about being the foreigner in the corner today. It does happen. After 8 or 9 years here, it still happens to me. Whether I'm thick-skinned or I'm just stupid, I just accept it. I don't make it big. I sit in the corner. I will turn around and I'm in the corner today. So you've got Filipinos behind me and you've got Filipinos over there waiting to start to talk to me because that's their job. I go around somebody's house and I have a few beers. We'll sit down and we'll have a chat. But it is difficult when you come here. So get a hobby, grow your social network where you live in your barangay. A lot of Filipinos do not travel. They are very, very insular in their pocket of where they are in their barangay or their subdivision or their cafes or their restaurants. They go to the same place at the time. It's like me, you see me vlogging a lot about SM Langham. That's because I meet 2 Filipino people. I'm going to meet them tomorrow at 11 o'clock. I'm going to have lunch with them. And we'll turn around and chat. One was an engineer, and the other one was the head of the water company here in Davao. So they're very, very nice. Their English is the same as my Filipino. We get there. But it's about engaging. It's about that social network of people and friends that you've got. And when you get to a certain age like me, the youngsters don't want an old guy coming to their area. So you end up with this ageism. that the youngsters are all here and they all know the new language and the emojis and all that. Whereas I ain't got a clue. I've got no idea about it. I've got no idea about engaging. So that's point one. Point two, invite the Filipinos out, to turn around and have a coffee. Not anything big, just have a coffee or have a beer, and make sure you let them know that you're going to buy. They might invite a friend, they might invite 2 friends, and you have to accept that. What you also need to expect is that if they have 2 or 3 friends, they will revert back to having that conversation with their friends, and you will become the foreigner in the corner. I have some very nice friends here in Davao, friends I've met. I've got some nice friends in Manila that I've met, and I keep in contact with them. And it is hard, so it's about social, it's about engaging, it's about talking to people on social media. And when I talk to my friends in Manila, I'll always try to put a few words into my conversation, Filipino or Visayan or Talaban. And I will always be corrected. So I accept that. So Sunday, I'm here. I'm going to show you a picture of what I'm going to get. I've got shrimp and chicken. Cajun shrimp and chicken. But it can be difficult if you're coming here to the Philippines, if your only friend is your wife or your girlfriend. Okay? Cajun shrimp pasta, TGI Fridays. There's my San Miguel light. Oh, look at that. Additional Parmesan cheese is coming out. It's 395 pesos. Oh, look at that. The hand of pasta. Oh, look at that. Parmesan. Oh, look at that. Very, very nice. There we go. I'm going to enjoy my lunch. Chilling out. I prefer the pasta in here. I've tried the burger, I've tried the ribs, I've tried the fish and chips, I've tried nearly all the menu. I prefer the pasta.